What's up everybody, welcome back to Double T Gaming, and with the impending release of the newly updated Nostalrius and Elysium vanilla servers, I bet a lot of people are wondering, what class should you play in vanilla WoW? So today I'm just going to give you guys a brief little overview of each class. I'm going to split this up into 3 separate videos and cover 3 classes per video, but once again, this isn't going to be an in-depth guide. Just a little preview to give you a sense of what you might want to roll come December and how things actually played out back in vanilla. Now just a little bit of history to give me some credibility. I've actually played World of Warcraft since vanilla. I made the Hunter back in those days, and I played both on Nostalrius and on Chronos, but I'm not here to tell you guys which class is the best. I'm here to give you guys just a brief summary of each class and how they were back in original World of Warcraft, because no class was perfect in vanilla. They all had their advantages, they all had their disadvantages, and they all could be amazing if played by the right person. If I say something wrong or you have your own opinions, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I want everyone to have as much information as possible before Nostalrius comes out, so we can all just have a great time enjoying vanilla WoW. But once again, this won't be an in-depth guide, just a little overview. But anyway, let's get started. Warriors. Basically, the cookie-cutter tank of vanilla WoW. Mainly all tanks of vanilla were warriors, and for good reason. They had high defense, they could hold threat well. Heck, after a warrior got a couple Sunder Armor stacks on a boss, the warrior could just AFK if they wanted to. And there's not really much else to be said about that. But don't sleep on the other specs either. A lot of people just remember warriors for their tanky skills, but honestly, in endgame, Fury DPS wasn't too shabby. In fact, when you really look at the numbers, when you're deep in endgame rating, Fury DPS was actually one of the best DPS classes there was. Granted, there was a pretty high skill cap for it. And armor spec in PvP was pretty amazing too. I think you guys all know who Swifty is, right? He gotta start playing Arms Warrior. But don't get me wrong, if you wanted a PvP or PvE as a DPS as a warrior in vanilla, you had to master the art of a stance, which is basically switching between battle stance and berserker stance to use different abilities and all that good stuff. But if you do plan on rolling a warrior, it's a rather grueling leveling experience, so get ready for some hardships, but it will all pay off in the end. Paladins. Oh, the Paladin. The Alliance only class back in vanilla. They really had their advantages and disadvantages. The first class I ever made on my own account in WoW was a Paladin, and I gave it up pretty quickly. In endgame, they're really only brought along for their heals and their blessings, but in the right hands, Paladins can do some major damage. A lot of people hate on Ret Paladins vanilla just based on the fact their only real damaging move came from Judgment. There was no Crusader Strike, there was no Templar's Verdict. They relied strictly on seals and melee attacks to do their damage. But then Reckoning came for Ret Paladins, and it was a whole new ballgame. I don't even have to mention the fact that someone took the time to stack Reckoning over 1,800 times and solo Doom Lord Kazakh. Now don't get me wrong, less than 24 hours after this happened, Blizzard nerfed it so it could only hold like 5 stacks, but still Reckoning changed the game for Ret Paladins. Granted, Paladins may be looked at as one of the worst classes of vanilla WoW just based on their abilities, but they were still a must-have for raid because of their blessings, and in the right hands, a Paladin can end up being one of the best tanks or DPS in your raid because of their abilities to AoE. Oh, and you also got a free mount. Shamans. Now look over on the other side of things. Shamans were horde only in vanilla WoW. This was back when Shamans actually used all their totems and everything, unlike today where a Shaman can go forever without using a totem if they wanted to. Shamans in vanilla had to throw those things down, but each different totem was always beneficial to raids. Resto was a good healing spec, and with all Shaman specs having access to reincarnation, a healer or DPS with the ability to self-reg was pretty huge. Elemental had its shining moments as a DPS spec with the capability of having some pretty big crits back in the day, but Enhancement was kind of its own animal in a way. Because of Wind Fury, it could either be really good or really bad. Basically, Wind Fury was a move that granted you some extra swings, and they could proc off of each other. So your extra swing could proc an extra swing, so you just swung 3 swings. Basically, if you saw an Enhancement Shaman with Sulfuras coming at you, you should run the other direction because chances are Wind Fury is going to proc and you're going to drop. Oh, and also Frost Shock. But I don't want these videos to be too long, so I think I'm going to end this part of my class review here. Once again, if you want to leave some more information on these classes, please do in the comments down below. And also, this isn't a video of me ranking the best class to the worst class in vanilla WoW like that dude Alex Ansuel has done a couple times. Because I really don't think there is a best versus worst. Because it really all comes down to how well you play your class and how much fun you have playing that class. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. It all just depends on what you do with it. But let me know what you guys are going to roll on Nostalrius or Elysium and tell me why, because I'm pretty interested to see how the population is going to be like. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.